Let's chat real estate. It's early in the year. We're going to chat our first real estate guest. Well, maybe we did some last week. I don't remember. Joelie Piccolini is with us. Berkshire Hathaway, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me again.
So I'm glad you're here. We got new stuff to chat about.
I'm so excited. Yes,
so,
we do.
Listings. People going out doing listings, and they've got a house, and I've known of this program that you mentioned. It's called Revive. And I've known about the program, and they do a great job from what I've seen. I don't know all the details of it.
It's really amazing. They basically, if you're a listing agent and you go on an appointment and you see the home needs, work, updating, you can offer to make the seller the benefactor of being a flip person. So they come in and they give them the money. They come in rehab, stage.
Okay, wait a second, Jolie. I got a problem here.
Yes.
Because not everybody knows what a flip person is. And at my size, I don't do flips. That's problematic.
So they're going to come in and rehab it. So
I'm flustered here.
I know what
this mental image of this old bald fat guy doing a flip.
It kind of threw me off. I was thinking of you doing a flip off a diving board. I don't know why, but no.
I don't even do a flip off of a diving board, and I used to be a swimmer.
Really? So a flip is when you go and you say you're looking at homes and something's turnkey and you can tell someone's came in and rehabbed it. Basically, that's a flip. So an investor comes in and flips a home and then sells it for more. So what's happening with Revive is that they come in and they give them the money, the seller, to do the same thing. And then at the close of escrow, they pay for, all the rehab through there, which is nice.
Sure. So Revive is putting up the money.
Revive.
Well, actually, they're doing that. They actually have the relationship with the contractors to do the work.
Correct. So you have to use their contractors, and you also have to use a Revive agent now. So,
okay, so that's something new.
Something totally new, because they're going to go national broadcasting in February, radio and TV. So they're going to, tell the consumer, this is what we have, a product for you. Because most buyers come in and they want a home that is turnkey.
And they're going to look at the program, the property, from what I understand.
Yes, they look at the property and they actually now
they'll do an assessment.
They're going to do an assessment, and then they're going to they have you take a picture of each room now, and you're going to upload it to a system, and they pretty much can give you back numbers right away.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in a beta form right now, but in the next 2 months it's going to come out. So if I'm going in and going on a listing appointment, I can take a picture of each room, upload it. And then they're going to get the comps from the area and decide, if it's worth it, because they're not going to come in and just do it for every property. It has to make sense for them. And you have to have enough equity for them to come and do it.
Well, now I would assume, again, sometimes assuming can be problematic, but they're going to want to do the work that's going to have a positive multiplier.
Correct. And not every area is a candidate for it.
Right. So, I might look at my house and say, okay, I think that I need to put improve the second bathroom upstairs.
Right.
Which may not bring any extra value to the property.
Correct.
They're not going to want to do that.
No, they're going to come in, they're really going to assess it, and then they sit down with you. It's a whole process, but it's worth it. They get them done within 90 days or less if you meet their criteria. And
I would assume also that they're looking at something similar to what you would be doing as a listing agent, experienced listing agent, is that, okay, front doors bring back a good multiplier of value.
Right.
Kitchens bring back a multiplier of value. What I mean by a multiplier of value, that you spend $1, you might get $1.50 back. Don't use the exact number because I don't know what it is.
Right.
But, front doors bring value. Kitchens bring value.
Bathrooms do too, but kitchens are a big one.
Right.
Yeah.
Bathrooms do, but I'm not sure the second bathroom upstairs.
No, not just one.
Right?
You have to kind of do all of them.
Well, but a master bathroom might bring more money than
correct.
And they know those things, and that's what you're really looking for. So if you're ended up going and being able to spend hypothetical, and I don't know what the numbers are, $10,000, and you as the listing agent say, okay, now we can list it for an extra 15.
Yeah.
That's valuable to everybody.
It's very valuable to everyone. And, the downside of it is, though, they do have to move out while they're doing this. But
so that's new.
Yes, but they are giving them $15,000 to move out because I think they really want to turn it around quickly.
Yeah. So the question then becomes, how do you do that?
Yeah. When I used them a year ago, my clients didn't have to move out.
Right.
So it
That
was a
when
little
they
easier.
so they came on the broadcast
Mhm.
with us a couple years back, and the clients didn't have to move out either because who can
Right.
afford to keep this property
And then move.
and move?
And then where are you going to move for, say, 3 months, really?
Well, I'm going to answer that question because it just dawned on me. Our friends over at Geneva Financial, they've got the transition loan.
Perfect. There you
So
go.
they'll actually give you a loan based on the equity of your departing property. And, you have to qualify. It's not really that difficult of a
Mhm.
qualification, but you take the value of the acquisition, the value of the departing, multiply times 0.65, subtract the existing liens,
Mhm.
and that's what they'll give you. So you can actually buy that new property
So there you go.
and move, and then you've got the old one. Now, let me ask you this
Mhm.
from the standpoint
Mhm.
of you being a listing agent.
Mhm.
If I move out, is that going to detract from the property, being that it's going to, or do you have to spend more money for staging then?
Well, you're going to have to spend money for staging, and they really do suggest that with Revive, and they do have someone comes in and stages for you.
Surprise, surprise! They'll
They do
everything for a
They
fee.
do everything. Yeah, exactly, for a fee. Well, it is a fee, but it does make a difference.
Well, it used to be, and again, I'm sure that they've made the program better, not worse, but it used to be that because of their volume,
Mhm.
that even though the contractor they were their contractors that were paying
Right.
them,
Right.
they got some better pricing, and actually they got contractors that
Mhm.
were committed to getting the work done in a timely manner.
Yeah, and they do. And that's, it's true because the contractors are getting a bunch of properties from them. Right now, I can't say who it is, but it's a big celebrity is using it, which still kind of threw me off why a celebrity would use this. But they're doing, they're putting up $1 million for the rehab for this
Wow.
person. Yes,
Well, they're probably doing that because they're going to get
they're probably going to get a
an
lot. Yeah,
endorsement down the road.
probably. Exactly.
Just throw
Yeah,
that out
exactly,
there for
probably.
you.
Right.
So that doesn't surprise me from that standpoint that that's what they might be doing.
It probably, 'cause especially since they're going to go national, and get out there.
Well, it's a great program.
Mhm.
I don't know about it's going to certainly it'll use a lot of money. So
It's going to.
they'll end up being probably more selective on who they'll work with.
I think so too. I think what they're trying to do too is when they do have the consumer call in, they are going to, point them to a Revive agent because we know the process, and I think they are going to try to make it more select that way. You just can't call in and go, "Hey, I want the money for my house," because there has been times too where people have taken the money and then we're like, "Oh, we love our house, we don't want to move out."
Ah, okay. So
Yes.
that's an interesting twist.
Right,
Now
because
the
that could
houses
happen.
became nicer now,
Right, but
and maybe they couldn't find an acquisition property.
well, right now, as our inventory is very low, that's going to be difficult, I think.
Well, we're going to talk about that when we come back. Continue our conversation. We're talking with Joelie Piccolini. She's with Berkshire Hathaway. We were talking before about improving home improvement to maximize the sale price of your property. And I mentioned in the report, the real-time real estate segment, that we're still looking at interest rates 6.6. But what if we could drop that 1.5 points, maybe to be at 5, high 4s? Would that make more sense for you to sell a property? Joelie, is there any inventory out there right now to sell?
No.
And
There's not. I mean, I looked. Okay, so we were talking earlier.
right.
Last night I pulled up all of Orange County just for single family active is only 1,171. That's all of Orange County.
1,000.
171.
I almost fell off my chair when you
No,
told me
I
that
know.
before the show.
Because when I talked to you in November, it was higher.
Well, historically, from what I've been told, the number for Orange County is usually there's about 6,000 single-family homes available for sale.
There's none. It's crazy.
And, about the time that you were in Latwey in November, I think there was about 2,200 back then.
I was shocked when I pulled it
half
up.
now.
I was shocked, and then there was only beginning of the year. So what are we on what's the date?
9th.
Okay,
As we recorded, or we don't know when you're listening, but we're recording on the 9th.
Okay, so 52 new listings since January 1st, all of Orange County. That's
52.
That's not a lot.
No, that's nothing. I mean,
That's nothing.
There's more cities there in Orange County than 52.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I looked as you and I were chatting. Anaheim Hills 92807 has 20 single-family homes.
That's nothing.
20.
That's nothing.
There are 3 condos.
Yeah. Well, I've told you too, since January 1st, there's 88 new condo listings.
Since January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we get
there's
condo
more new
townhomes.
condos than there are
Correct. Then
single
home.
family.
Mm-hmm.
92808 Anaheim Hills also. There are 6 houses for sale, 6 single family homes, and 5 condos.
There's just
Nothing out there.
I think probably the people with the condos and townhomes are probably thinking, "Oh, cool, let's sell and get a single family." Well, good luck on that.
Yeah, that's not gonna turn out too well for you.
No, it's not.
So, do you ever? I'm gonna ask this tongue in cheek. Do you ever get people that'll say to you, "Well, I'm gonna wait for the prices to come down"?
I have 3 buyers right now that are saying this to me, and the prices are going up. We talked earlier when I got here how I had that client who had an offer on a condo. Due to family emergency, they backed out, and now they want to buy again. And that condo has gone up 30,000 since last summer.
So what's the price point on that?
The price point, well, we went in and we were getting accepted at 515, and now the condo they just lost out to went 569.
So that's about a 6% increase.
Which is crazy because it's in LA off of La Cienega.
Well, but
it's in the 5s.
I know we've got listeners in Los Angeles.
Sorry.
But me too. I agree.
Sorry.
But my car sputters at the county line. We're going to Paso Robles this weekend, and we go around Los Angeles to get there. I mean, I'm not a fan of Los Angeles. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
No, I'm not. No, I live in Orange County. No, I love Orange County.
Yeah, I mean, we got the orange curtain right there.
Exactly. But I do sell homes in LA County. I have a listing on Long Beach. I just prefer Orange County.
Sure, and everybody has their preferences.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll lend in Los Angeles, and I'm sure you'll sell houses in Los Angeles.
Of course, I'll sell houses.
Right. And that's just the way the market works. Mm-hmm. But the question then, and I don't know if you use this question, it's my question, is, okay, so you think property values are going to drop. What will be the catalyst for them to drop when there's nothing available?
Well, I don't understand where they're thinking, because I have the one, I'm waiting for a deal. There is not going to be a deal.
Right.
You get in
the
now.
deal is you get to own the house.
Exactly. Instead, you're throwing away money on rent each month. And they've been renting for, I want to say his wife said 20 years, and she's mad. She wants to buy. He's on the fence because he wants a deal. It's just,
I don't have it in front of me, but let's just have some fun, Jolie.
Okay.
What city is that in? Are they looking to shop in? Are they renting in?
Long Beach.
They're in Long Beach. Okay. So Long Beach.
And they have a home that they're renting.
Long Beach, California. So we've got a property, we've got a real estate report card for Long Beach, California. It's takes a little bit for it to generate the report card. But in 20 years, my guess is that property is, well, the 10-year appreciation is 7.61 a year. So at 7.61 a year, that means for 20 years, if they had bought a $500,000 house, that's worth $2 million today.
Correct.
Right? Because the 7.61 means you're going to double every 10 years. So 20 years, you're going to double once, 500 to $1 million. Right. Double again, $1 million to $2 million. So they've lost out on $1.5 million.
They have, and they're paying someone else's mortgage. It's crazy, and
their landlord's probably very happy.
Very happy, I'm sure,
because they've paid off that mortgage and their property's worth $2 million.
Yeah.
Right. Think about that concept. So when you think that you're waiting for property values to come down, and you look and you say, okay, what's going to be the catalyst for them to come down? What's going to drive property values down? And let's take a look real quick if I can get it to pop up here for Long Beach, California, and see if we can get an idea of what so Long Beach, and it just puts the whole city in there. It doesn't give me breakdown. It says 125 houses for sale for Long Beach.
And Long Beach is big.
That's a big city.
Yes.
Right? And you've got 134 condos.
Okay.
So what's going to be the catalyst? Now, if I was a homeowner in Long Beach, and I am not, I'd probably be wanting to put my house out at a higher price But it used to be that one of the big online companies, and I won't mention their name because their valuation sucks, Zillow, but they used to have a service that says "Make Me Move," right? So if you've got a $2 million house and there's no inventory, and you put it up at 2.5, there may be somebody that wants that property.
I have clients right now that I have their house listed in Long Beach, and they were thinking the same way. It really hasn't worked out in their favor. So, it's hard. Buyers still
But do
think
those people really want to move, or are they just
do.
saying,
They want to move to Orange County.
can't say I blame them.
There you go.
But the bottom line is some of those folks are saying, something, if I get a crazy price, which I did this,
Right.
When we come back, I want to tell you about a crazy price. And it's something that I did many, many years ago. Found out that I made a mistake, but I did it, and I want you to learn from it. Story time with Ron Siegel Radio. So, give or take, sometime in the range of probably 1987, 1988. I know some of you were not alive then. But 1987, 1988, real estate was very, very hot back then. Prices or interest rates had come down from when I bought my first house in the 18% range, and rates were all the way down to probably about 12, give or take, something like that. But when certain life events happen, you got to buy and you got to sell. So my life event back then was I got married, and I had bought a house right out of college with a fraternity brother, and we did well. Those of you that know the Orange County area, we were right below Orange County Mining Company. We were right out of college, so you could actually go to the mining company, drink as much as you want to, roll down the hill, and you'd get right into our condo. No problem. No drinking and driving. Didn't have to do that. Especially on that road that goes up to Orange County Mining Company. You don't want to do that. So we decide we sell the condo. We make some good money. The fraternity brother and I split our ways. We go, and my wife and I just got married in 87. Yes, it's a long time ago. I'm into a life sentence here. So we went and we buy a condo. And those of you that are near Anaheim Hills, it's right below or right by Canyon High School. And properties were selling really, really quick back then. So what did I do? I decided, what the heck? I'm going to put a for sale by owner sign in the window and raise the price $40,000 from what we paid for it. And if somebody bought it, fine. If they didn't buy it, that's fine too. Okay, mistake number one is I didn't use a real estate agent. Mistake number two, I didn't talk to a financial planner or my accountant. So benefit one was the house sold immediately. We were only in that house for about 2 months. Guess what happens when you own a house for 2 months and you make a bunch of money? It's called ordinary income. Well, I didn't know that, and I didn't talk to our accountant at the time. So I got to pay a bunch of taxes before we moved into the new house. Just throw that out there for you. So what did I learn? Use a real estate agent, because most of them, if they're good, they would have said, hey, Ron, dummy, you're going to pay a bunch of taxes. Do you really want to do that? And number two, use a tax professional. I'll give you another story there real quick, because I want to talk to Joelie about this. Because what it really gets to is, so I had just graduated from Chapman College. It wasn't even a university. And I had a degree in accounting, marketing, and management. I'm a smart guy. I know everything. Don't most guys in their mid-20s know everything? In our 30s, we realize how stupid we are. But in the 20s, we think we know everything. And I'm doing my own taxes then too. So pretty dumb, huh? Look at Joelie over here going, you nuts, guy? Okay, so I'm sitting around the table with my parents' tax planner, and he said, did you take this deduction? And I said, no. And he said, did you take this deduction? And I said, no. And he said, did you take this deduction? And I said, no, really feeling like an idiot now. And back then he said, okay, those three would have saved you $800. My fee's $175. Talk about a dummy, right? So now let's stop talking about the dummy here, because in the last 40 years, I have learned things. And I'll tell you this, if you think education's expensive, try ignorance. Just throw that out there for you. So Jolie, do you think there's people out there that will just put a dumb price on their house and get it? Because there's nothing available.
I see people do it. I think it just depends on the area.
Okay.
It really depends on the area. Say good school districts.
Okay.
I feel that, take for instance, Cyprus. I live in Cyprus. It has Oxford Academy, one of the top schools in the nation. I kind of feel I look at homes there and they're going for a crazy price because the school district.
Now, are they going for a crazy price as a professional, or are they going as a crazy price as somebody that lives there? And the reason I ask the difference there is my wife makes comments all the time that house isn't worth $1 million. And I say, you know something? If it was 30 years ago, it wouldn't have been worth $1 million. But in today's market, if you're in Anaheim Hills and there's 4 walls, it's worth $1 million. I
feel a home is worth whatever someone's going to pay for it. Really.
Yeah.
You know.
So what are your thoughts? Do you, if I want to get a crazy price, do I go out low and let it bid up, or do I just go out with a crazy price and say, you know something, I really don't care about moving?
There's a lot of people, agents, that will sit there and list it really low. So people do get excited, but it prices some of them out because a lot of buyers sit and look in their price range. Like, say, just for instance, 800,000, but knowing the agent knows that they want to get, say, 1 or 1.1. Those people probably are only approved for 800, 850. So, you know, it works for a lot of people. I like to list it for what I feel it's gonna go for. And if you get multiple offers, then you can kind of, you know, bid it up. That's how I do it. There's no like science really right now. I think
everybody has their own way of doing the things, you know, and like I've said many times on the broadcast that, you know, I look at it and say, you know something, list it at 5% below market value. It's not a huge amount.
And then you get a lot of activity.
So you're going to get a lot of activity and people are going to see it. Yeah. And that's just my opinion on it. And you know what they say about opinions, right? So the bottom line there is what's going to work, what's going to get you the most activity, and what's going to, the most important part of the whole thing is what are you trying to achieve? And I think that's something that you as a real estate professional are probably asking everybody.
I do. I ask my sellers, like, do you really want to sell? Like,
what's your time horizon?
Are you just testing it to see? Or do you really want to sell? You know, even though there's low inventory, buyers are still they're being cautious, you know, and of course, buyers want a deal, sellers want more money. You know,
everybody wants their side of the table.
And then of course, you know, when the sellers go to buy, they're going to act just like the buyers did. You
sure.
know? So I go, there you go.
Now I'm looking right now. This is when numbers can really be deceiving. So Cypress, California, you just mentioned.
Yes,
Cypress.
That's where I live, Cypress.
Total inventory 9.
And it's crap.
Now, and think about, okay, so that's an interesting comment too. So 9 houses for sale, and the median list price, that means half are above and half are below, $1,320,000. Yeah. $1,320,000 in Cypress. Now, I have nothing against Cypress. I don't think it's good or bad.
It's very small.
Yeah, it's a small area, but Yorba Linda's at $1,700,000 right now is their median home price, and Anaheim Hills is Anaheim Hills 92808 is 2.2. I wouldn't believe that one just because there's a very small sample size there as well.
Right.
But $1,195,000 and 92807 with their whopping 16 houses for sale. Again, so Cypress it's got a higher value than Anaheim Hills.
I think it's, again, because of Oxford Academy, but I just pulled up listings because I do have a buyer for Cypress, and I sent them one. It was a little over 1,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and I think the start price was $899. It's going to go for more, but it's like nothing. I mean, that's just amazing. It's tiny, and it's
very small as well. Absolutely. So you look at all these things and you say, okay, here's the market we're in, and I'm going to share this plain and simple as I can. Economics 101. It works every single time. It has for centuries. It's called supply and demand. Yeah. If there is no supply, that would be the number of homes for sale. And I reference again 9. Not very many. If there's nothing for sale, prices are going to go up. If there's an abundance for sale, if we were to change that number in Cyprus to 900, prices would go down.
Correct.
It's very, very simple. If you're waiting for a deal, you're not going to get one right away. Will there be another day in history when prices drop? Probably. But what will they have gone up to by then? Right? That's the whole issue. And if we look at, I don't have time to look for it, but Cyprus will probably, I could run a report on Cyprus that'll tell us what the history is. Orange County over the last 63 years has appreciated at about 5.35%. Is it going to do that in the next 63 years? I don't know. But the likelihood is if it's done that over the last 63, it's going to be somewhere close. Just throw that out there for you. If you want to know the valuations in your area, give me a call at 800-306-1990. Be happy to put you in touch with Joelie. She can tell you what the valuations are, what's going on there. If you want to know how much equity you have, that's a great place to start. And we're going to probably be sending out a report or a messaging this week saying, hey, do you want to know how much equity you have in your house? Because then you can make an informed decision. Do you want to buy? Do you want to sell it? Do you want to reinvest? Do you want to become an investor? All of those things are options, but you don't have options if you don't have knowledge.